Chunmun Area 40 is home to pitcher plants, a carnivorous plant species protected under the Forest Regulation Chapter 96 and the Protection of Endangered Species of Animals and Plants Ordinance Chapter 586. The construction of the toll plaza is very close to a colony of the protected floral pitcher plant species, which is called Nepenthes mirabilis, covering an area of approximately 10 meters by 30 meters. In order to protect the species present and its habitat, it is recommended that a hoarding be erected along the works boundary of the project site before the commencement of works to prevent vehicle movements and encroachment of personnel onto adjacent areas where the pitcher plants are located. No openings in the hoarding should be provided on the northern side of the work areas to avoid access to the uphill area where the pitcher plants are present. Prior to the commencement of site formation works at Slope D and the construction of the west portal of vehicular underpass, it is necessary to transplant 280 of the pitcher plants in the area. An initial pitcher plant transplantation proposal was submitted for approval by Agricultural, Fisheries and Conservation Department, or AFCD. However, after investigation by AFCD, the receptor site was found to be less than ideal, so was rejected. The project team found an alternative area within the site boundaries, namely Zone 9 and Zone 10, where pitcher plants grew and would not be affected by the construction works, so suggested this area as the eventual transplantation site. After AFCD inspection, the site was found to be acceptable. Pitcher plants are seasonal plants, and under the advisement of professional botanists and the Agricultural, Fisheries and Conservation Department of Hong Kong, it is recommended that the months between March and July are best suited to undertake the transplanting process to maintain optimal plant health. However, the project's commencement date for this contract was on July 21, 2014, right near the end of the recommended transplanting period. This posed a substantial reason for concern as the project could not be postponed till the following year, as this would cause a detrimental delay to the entire project. The project team formulated a plan to deal with this issue by creating a temporary nursery where the pitcher plants could be stored in a safe environment while the site formation works took place to keep in line with the proposed schedule of works. The pitcher plants would be cared for daily and monitored by qualified arborists until the appropriate time that the final transplanting process can take place to Zone 9 and Zone 10. Pitcher plants are perennial, carnivorous plants whose prey-trapping mechanism features a deep cavity filled with liquid known as a pitfall trap. The pitcher plant stems can grow up to 2 meters long, and each leaf consists of a petiole, a blade, a coiled zone or tendril, and ends in a pitcher about 10 to 14 centimeters long with a lid. Petioles about 3.5 to 8 centimeters long, sometimes winged, distinctly channeled on the upper surface. Blades about 12 to 25 by 3.5 to 6 centimeters. Both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaf blade clothed in small brownish glands or excrescences. Pitcher plants generally grow as vines, climbing over other plants, and may grow as epiphytes, growing on other plants in the forest canopy or as low shrubs. The pitchers of pitcher plants may resemble flowers, but are actually modified leaf blades that hang from coiled tendrils. The pitchers are usually shaped like tubes, or as the name implies, like small pitchers. All species in the genus Nepenthes use their pitchers to trap and digest small invertebrate animals. The pitchers can vary in shape even within the same species of plant, depending on the age of the plant, the amount of light, and whether the pitcher is growing near the ground or high up. The pitchers are filled with acidic digestive liquids that breaks down and absorbs nutrients from animals, usually invertebrates such as insects that fall into the pitchers. The pitchers are covered by small lids as they grow in order to prevent the digestive liquid from being diluted by rainwater. The lids shrivel or open up when the pitchers are fully developed. To offer guidelines on proper practices for managing the transplantation and maintenance of pitcher plants, environmental briefing and training sessions were provided and scheduled for site staff to raise awareness on environmental protection. Apply for Forests and Countryside Ordinance Permit Chapter 96 and Country Parks Ordinance Permit Chapter 208 with the Agricultural, Fisheries and Conservation Department. Fence off the pitcher plant for protection in accordance with the environmental impact assessment requirements. Construct working platform at rocky slopes surrounding the pitcher plants for safety. Initial survey of existing pitcher plants. Set up temporary nursery on site with shelter net for screening from direct sunlight. Retained pitcher plants in Zone 9 are monitored by specialists for their growth. Cutting of the existing plants and transplant to temporary nursery by experienced specialist contractor to simulate the original habitat. Daily monitoring of pitcher plants in nursery including daily watering and general maintenance to include pest check and control. Construction of access route to final receptor area. %10 of pitcher plants to be transplanted until auxiliary shoots and roots arise to act as a test case. Remaining 90% of pitcher plants transplanted only after the test batch is confirmed as healthy and successful to the approved receptor site Zone 9 and Zone 10. 1-year establishment of pitcher plants. Upon the completion of the transplantation, the environmental team for contractor will be responsible for the required post-transplantation monitoring of the transplanted pitcher plants, which includes daily and monthly maintenance practices of pest checks and controls, as well as submission of monthly monitoring reports. A detailed pitcher plant's post-transplantation monitoring plan would be submitted to the Agricultural, Fisheries and Conservation Department after approval of the transplantation proposal. The Tunmun Cheklapkok Link contract endeavors to do their part in protecting the environment, and the protection and transplantation of the pitcher plants is just one of the ways it acts upon this desire. The project team continues to work hard to ensure that the project not only meets its expected completion date, but does it with an awareness and consideration to the environment to improve the future of Hong Kong.